One of the highest indicators of happiness and purpose at work is how well people are connected with others. We must prioritize connections and relationships. Welcome to the Drew Coaching Podcast. My name is Eric Drew. Drew Coaching raises up leaders who shape the future, and the podcast is a weekly boost for your leadership in 10 minutes or less. This is season 3. We're looking at 3 cheat codes for uncertain times. We're living and leading in uncertain times. The cheat codes are clarity, competence, and culture. Now, this is our 3rd week looking at culture. So far, we've worked on building a culture of success and a culture of genius. Now, building a great culture is important and fun. So I want to encourage you to go back to season 3, episodes 9 and 10, if you haven't seen them yet or heard them yet. Quick reminder, podcast is available on YouTube, Spotify, anywhere else you access podcasts. I'd love for you to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And I also really appreciate it when you share with your friends so that you're growing together with a community. We're all growing. Now, did you know, as we looked at culture, did you know that one of the questions on the Gallup Workplace Engagement Survey asks if you have a friend at work? Thousands of companies use this survey. It's only 12 questions, and one of those 12 questions is about friendship at work. Why? Because connection with other people matters. Extroverts and introverts agree. They want to have good working relationships. They want to feel supported. They want to feel like someone cares about them. They want to feel part of a bigger team, mission, and purpose. If you want a great culture, you have to create a culture of connection. Now, this actually is pretty manageable. It's not that hard. I want to share 3 practices so that you can start this week to build a culture of connection wherever you are. First, I want you to ask about the people stuff before you talk about the work stuff. I have a tendency to jump right in to the topic or agenda or just my own personal to-do list at the beginning of meetings and conversations. But it really makes a difference if you make a more personal connection first. Everyone wants to share something about themselves. Although, different people are going to be are comfortable sharing different kinds of things. Be kind, interested, but seek connection. Don't force personal sharing or overshare, but it makes a big difference to open the space for people to be people before people are workers. A few of my favorite questions to ask at the beginning of meetings or random conversations when you run into somebody are, what's one thing that went well for you recently? How's your family? Do you have any exciting vacation plans or other plans coming up soon? Have you watched any good shows or movies lately? Sometimes I'll ask the question and then answer it myself first, or I'll share something personal first. This helps other people by providing them time to think and not just putting them on the spot to share something immediately. It also helps to establish expectations of how long and how personal to share. But however you do this, create a moment to connect by talking about people stuff before you talk about work stuff. Second, I want you to create spontaneous connections outside of the scheduled meetings. I had one boss who would walk through all of the hallways and peer into every single office sometime in the morning just to ask how everyone was doing. I have another friend who just kind of stops by my office to knock on the door and say hi sometime throughout the day. You might be in a remote or a hybrid situation, so you could send a random text message or Slack message or email message. So just catch up or check in with people. You might do something totally radical and actually call someone on the phone. Spontaneous connections don't have to be long or deep. Sometimes it's just nice to get a text or a call from someone to ask how you're doing. Maybe ask how the big presentation went, or if their family member who is sick is doing any better. Again, our focus is to create a culture of connection. You don't have to be weird or do anything too far out of the ordinary, but create spontaneous connections outside of what's regularly scheduled. Finally, and here's one we all need, I want you to laugh more often. Laughter is a natural connection point. It's also been proven to decrease stress and anxiety, and that makes more connection possible. Teams and organizations who laugh together have been proven to tackle difficult projects or challenges better. So tell a joke. Maybe share about a funny movie scene you saw recently. Plan games for your next off-site team meeting. Insert a little self-deprecating humor. Take moments to not take everything so seriously. Teams that laugh together more often create a better culture. So let's wrap up for this week. In uncertain times, culture is a cheat code. You want to build a great culture. To build a great culture, one of the things you could do is build a culture of connection. Talk about the people stuff before you talk about the work stuff. Create spontaneous moments of connection. Laugh more often. And again, I just want to remind you, building culture, it's not that easy to measure all the time, but it is the fun, good work that we're doing. Have a good time creating a culture of connection. As you're thinking and working on it, here are a few practical questions that might help you out. How do you typically start work conversations and meetings? What would it look like to make a personal connection before you work on work together? How often do you check in and create spontaneous connections with people? How might you do this more often? Finally, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the culture of connection on your team or in your organization or where you're serving regularly? What would be different if it was a 9 or a 10? So this week, we're growing together by investing time in relationships. By doing so, you will build a great culture, and a great culture is a cheat code in uncertain and anxious times that are surrounding all of us. As you work on it, I want to help. You can find show notes and questions at drewcoaching.online. I'm also on social media. I share encouragement and content throughout the week. I'd love to see you on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. If you subscribe and follow the podcast, you won't miss any of the content. I'd love for you to commit 10 minutes every week to grow with us. Maybe you want to share it with a friend. You could hold one another accountable to connecting more with each other and across your team or organization. That'd be a great way for you all to grow and implement this week. Finally, just want to make sure you didn't miss, I released a free ebook. It's called Make the Most of Your Rest This Summer. Summer is a great time for rest and renewal. It's going by fast, and I don't want it to pass you by. Check out the free ebook. I share 5 practices to make the most of your rest this summer. I want you to embrace the art of rest, discover your best. Get it, Drew Coaching, online for free. Love you to take advantage of rest this summer. Finally, I just want to say thank you. Thanks for connecting. I'm grateful for your leadership. You are a leader. You're a creative. The world needs your voice. This week, work on building a culture of connection. As you do that, raise up others. I want you to bring hope to life. Remember, we're better and we're in this together.